What's going on, YouTube? Back with another video on my boat. Kind of an update video. I've got a lot done since the last one. I would hope so, considering that was like 2 months ago when I made that. So I guess I just don't know where to start. Well, here, I'll just start somewhere. Okay, so here it is. That's what you're looking at. The boat, I got it decked, carpeted. The compartments work, as you can see. Here's one. I would close it, but my rods are in there. Anyways, let me just pull my rods out so that I can open up the other ones and you can see what I've done. Anyways, I got the rod buckles installed. I got a little plier thing, so I always got pliers on deck for all them big fish I'd be catching all the time. Just kidding, you guys. I got the cup holders. Whoa, what the heck? Hang on 1 second, guys. Okay, sorry about that. I got my cup holders installed. I got my rear seat installed for passengers or when I run the big motor. Once I get that running, I still haven't even got to that part yet. Side note here, I got a new setup. It's a 13 Fishing Concept C on a Daiwa 7-foot heavy action, and it's I've devoted it to jigs specifically. Okay, anyways, back to the boat. I don't know if it was green last time you seen it. I painted it green. I got the compartments rocking. It was tough to get it to work properly, but I got the latches on, the hinges, the lights on the inside, the lights on the deck. I don't know what's in there right now, a net and some random wires. I'm still not completely done, but it's more than fishable. I've been fishing out of it 3 times. No, I haven't caught a fish yet. But anyways, so that's the big compartment where I'm gonna have most of my stuff, and then I got this second compartment here with mostly it's gonna be like life vests, and as of right now it's where my rod socks are, and I guess that's where I'm gonna be putting my rod socks if I don't leave them in my truck. But anyways, I got a smaller compartment for smaller stuff and passengers or guests, tackle and whatnot. But yeah, it's decked and fishable. Up top I got it decked. I got the trolling motor tray installed, the foot pedal installed. My pedestal goes right here, obviously. Got the nav light, got the fish finder installed. In the rear I got the rear nav light. I don't know what that's called. I also made this a hatch door, as you can see, and that's just my quick access to my batteries and to all the wires and such. I wired up a rocker panel right here. This guy would be the rear light. This one, the second one here, would be the nav. This guy, I think, is the lights inside both my compartments, and this guy is the lights on the top deck here, as you can see on both sides. I have a onboard battery charger, so I installed this flush-mounted charger. Speaking of which, I'm going to plug it in right now, just so that I don't let those batteries get too low. Anyway, is it working? Lights are on. It's working. Yeah, so there's that. I completely redid the trailer as well. I think I told you guys. I got new wheels. I'm a little upset. I was impatient, and the guys didn't work with me at Les Schwab's. I wanted black wheels, but all they had was galvanized, and they said it would take a long time to get them. Well, I didn't actually get my trailer finished for a long time, so I should have just waited for the black. But anyways, I got galvanized wheels, new tires, along with a spare, and new wheel bearings. And then I took it to my work. I briefly talked about my new job in my last video. took it to my work, had the fabricators redo this bracket because it got ripped off at a pond one day. So they cut it off and made new ones so that my leaf spring is working properly and it's got good welds. My tongue was bent because previous owner jackknifed it real hard and it just was bent, so it was tracking wrong, and it was a nightmare to back it up. So they straightened it. They cut this out here, straightened it out, and then welded these patches over it. My job there, I cut stuff out of metal with a CNC plasma, so I made this plate here for your for my safety chains, and they welded that to it just so that it was a lot more stout than what was on it before. Before, it had these poles that came up and it kind of held the boat in place as you're loading it, and I chopped them down not knowing that it would really be that critical. Well, it was. It's been a pain in the butt to load my boat lately. So I bought these after, oh yeah, sorry, I got the whole trailer powder coated. It's all spider black, it's all powder coat. And then I bought these after the fact. I didn't know. I should have known, you know? So I bought these, and obviously they're not the same color as my trailer because I didn't have them when it got powder coated. But maybe eventually, I mean, they're just bolted on. Eventually I can just take them off, and maybe this winter when I'm not using my boat very often, could just slip it in the powder coat booth and then it'd be all the same color. But actually my plans are, I don't like how they bolt on like this. I'd rather it just cut it here, and then where the old pole was right here, this different color black, you can see because I grinded it off after the powder coat, so I just painted it black so that it's still sealed. I'd like to grind this all to bare metal again and take this bracket on both sides and weld it on right here perfectly so that it's all part of the trailer. No bolts and weird overlapping bars. Let's see what else. The trailer got all new lights. They're all LED. It had bumpers, which I wish I would have left on there. I thought rollers would be easier for unloading the boat in sketchy areas by myself, which I'm not wrong, it is, but also they're very hard to load the boat in sketchy areas by myself because it has to be lined up just perfectly. And if you look, it's tearing up the bottom of my boat, and yeah, that's just not good, you know. And if I had the bumpers, yeah, it might be a little bit more difficult to unload my boat, but I feel like it'd be easier to load my boat. So there's a lot of give and take there, I guess. I'm gonna figure something out. I'm thinking about taking these front two wheels, this one and that one, right before that bracket right there. Thinking about just cutting that off in general because, well, I mean, if you can look down, that part of the boat where the rollers are is flat and this part is angled, so these wheels really don't do anything anyways. So, I mean, I don't know if cutting those off would help it from scarring it up. I think it gets all scarred up down at the loading entry anyway, so I may end up just taking the wheels off and carpeting those rails, which is kind of a big waste of money because I think they're like $300, and then I got them powder coated, so it's probably, you know, pushing $400 on those rollers. And I mean, I don't even use them. It's kind of been a pain in the ass and damaging my boat. And the last thing we did was we made this custom bracket. It's 290 degrees welded together and welded to my trailer, I think I talked about briefly, so that I could have tie downs right here, bam bam, instead of having to reach all the way under there. See, I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but that's all the way to my elbow, so I'd have to reach, you know, way under. It's not a big deal, but I have to reach way under there every single time, which would be annoying. And then moving this portion out made these easier, but not only that, when I get the big motor running, I'll get my transom saver working properly where the bottom of it will just sit right here instead of all the way under there awkwardly through one of these two holes. So now I can just rest like perfectly straight and parallel with the motor right here. So that's what I have done. What I plan on doing, or still need to do, is my wires, they all work, my lights work, but my right turn signal isn't working. Like, it's on, but it doesn't flash. So I need to get that fixed, which I'm pretty sure it's because all my connections for all my wires, they've been spliced way too many times. But also, right now they're still just twisted together and then taped just so that I could move the trailer from my work and test the boat and just make it mobile and not get pulled over for not having any lights at all. So what I'm getting at is I think I need to oh crap, I just noticed something. Well, that sucks. I need to go through and get all these connections how they're supposed to be. Hang on guys, one sec. Okay guys, sorry about that. I noticed something. My battery boxes aren't secure and they slide around, and from my trolling motor to the battery, which is this tight cord here, which is sketchy, I need to get it up there closer, as close as possible, honestly. Jeez, these little red boxes here, these fuses, they're freaking hot. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Anyways, sorry, this cord with all the tension on it is the trolling motor, and see that there came unhooked because these boxes they slide around when I'm driving. Sorry for the face shot. I just gotta try to push it back. It's all cockeyed. Anyways, they roll around, or not roll, they slide around, and that puts tension on the cords, which isn't good obviously. And then luckily all it did is pop it out of the connector there, which is an easy fix, but it's just annoying that I have to do that. Anyways, what I'm getting at, it does it on both sides, but that one just has like little room for error. So I need to figure out a way to get them pushed up in there without moving around, sliding around, because I don't want that to happen, or worse. One incident that has happened is I've been doing all this wiring, which I'm not done with. It all works and stuff, but I want to do some wire tucking and hiding so it's not a big old bird's nest and looks like crap. But I had to get thicker gauge wire because I was running from there, that back one. No, sorry. It was from the Navi to the rocker panel there. And I flicked the switch and I went up front to see if it was working, and guess what? I turn around and see a bunch of smoke, and I'm like, what the hell? And I come back here and the wires melted all the way up to the battery. Luckily I flicked it off in time because I could have shorted out the battery box, caught something on fire, blah blah blah, anything could have happened. But anyways, so I had to upgrade. That's why the that cord there, you see the white cord, and then over there it's white cord. That's 12 gauge wire. I upgraded to marine 12 gauge wire, which might be overkill for those lights, but I didn't want to risk it. I don't want to be out late at night or early in the morning and using those lights and catch on fire. So I have an onboard fire extinguisher now, just in case. And yeah, so anyways, I need to go through the wiring on the trailer and do all the connectors properly. I got the heat shrink kind that have the solder in the middle. You know, you butt the wires in and then you melt it and it shrinks over top of it. I got those. They're not a scam. They work really well. I was trying to pull them apart after they cooled off, and I couldn't get it apart. I had to cut it apart. So they're solid. If they're done right, they are solid. So I need to go through and do all the wiring on the trailer, get that 100% kosher and legal. I need to get the boat put into my name, licensed, and put the license plate numbers on the side of my boat so that we're all legit and kosher. I need to get the outboard running, and then like I said, I need to figure out something for those battery boxes so they're not sliding around going down the highway or whatever, ripping on cords, pulling on cords. And then just a couple little things, like this is an old boat. This boat is older than me, and I am 28 years old, so it takes on some water, not a lot. Let me see if I can. It should still be in there. And then I need to, yeah, hang on, one thing at a time. So it takes on a little bit of water. Oh yeah, it took on some water. So see See that water down there? That's actually quite a bit more than last time. I don't like that. Anyways, that water is coming in. I believe it's coming in through here. So I put this silicone on it or whatever, and it still hasn't, like I sealed all the way around it over the top multiple times. It looks pretty ugly, but it's still not dry. See, like I can push on it, and I'm not sure why it hasn't dried. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but I'm pretty sure that's where the water's coming from. Either there or when I put it in the water, it comes through here, because I flipped these bolts around. These used to be on the inside, and I didn't seal it. So, you know, you put the boat in the water, and this part, water comes up to here. Anyways, it might seep through there, and then it comes down in that, or there's these pieces of wood that I'm guessing were for oars when my grandpa had it, and they're bolted in, so water might be seeping there. And lastly, I patched up a couple holes up front that I accidentally drilled a screw through, and it might be seeping through there. But that's it's weird because all I did was cut the bolt off, so the screw's still in there. So it would be like, we're talking tenths of a thousandth of an inch, or tenths of a thousandth of an inch, like super minimal spacing, you know. So I don't think it's coming from there, but I need to check it. I'm gonna go over it again, flex tape, some silicone, whatever. So I gotta fix those leaks. And then the bottom of my boat, there's spots where there's fiberglass showing, and I would say it's coming from there, but it's not, because these compartments aren't actually on the bottom of my boat. There's actually 2 holes on my boat. As you seen up front, there's 2 V's, right? So there's 2 holes, and this is one and that's the other. I don't know if you've ever seen a Livingston, but it's like there's a space here, there's something in the middle sit on, and a space here, and I just put a deck over it and made those spots for your feet, compartments basically. Anyways, I need to go through where the fiberglass is showing. I don't think it's taking on water there, but I just need to go along the bottom of my boat and seal it up. It's getting all chewed up from 1, the rollers, and 2, there were spots where I had to pry it off my trailer because of the sealant I used. It stuck to the trailer and pulled the fiberglass. Anyways, I need to seal up the bottom a little better. I added this to hold my lures, because I thought I'd be in and out of this all day, but so far the longest I've been on the water is 2 hours, and that's how much water I took on in 2 hours. I really need to get that fixed and figured out. Side note, I don't know if that's all from today. Like, some of that could have been from last time. It just didn't make it out because I thought it'd evaporate because it's summertime, it's supposed to be hot. But that could still be from last time, and I just need to get a shop vac and get it all out. So I see my battery here is all pushing on cords and whatnot, and I don't like that. It moved around going down the highway on both sides. So real quick, hang on guys. Okay, sorry about that guys. I just had to push that battery back, and I wanted to plug in the ground so that the battery box is with all my electronics is on and working, so I could show you guys. But then I was just talking up how great those connectors were, and then I see one of them pulled loose when my battery moved. So once again, my battery moving around is becoming an issue. It's pulling on my cords and causing more work, and it's becoming annoying. Anyways, so I gotta fix that now. I'm not gonna do it today, but I don't really see myself using those lights really that much at all anyway, but I just thought it'd be a great feature. So let me show you. First one, bam, that turns that light on. Solid. Second one, which I still need to put these little stickers on too, just because. I don't know if you can see up there, red and green. Nav lights. Third one is my compartment lights. They work on both sides. And then lastly is these top deck. One side boom. I was like, why didn't that side work? And I seen that the connector came undone. It's two different sides I've spliced together and put onto one switch. So I just gotta reconnect that and it'll work just fine. And lastly, this thing always flies open going down the highway, which is also annoying. So I need to come up with some type of switch or lock or lever or something to keep this closed. I don't know if I just need to have like a little latch, like I don't even know how to explain it. I just have to show you guys. Sounds like my baby's waking up, so I'm gonna have to cut this video short. Anyways, need to get a little latch here that holds that closed. And then yeah, I don't know if you can go back and count how many things I need to do, but I still got like 5 or 6 odds and ends to finish up this boat build. And then, I mean, I'm sure the next video I'll have something new I'll need to do. Yeah, so that's an update on the boat. It's more than fishable. I've been fishing out of it yet to catch anything, but you can fish out of it, definitely. So guys, I'm gonna have to go attend to my baby and do dad stuff. So I'm gonna have to cut this video short here. In the last video I said I was going to get some stuff done around the house. Didn't really do much like I planned. Actually, the only thing I didn't do was a dump run because we got a bunch of garbage. 1 is cut up wood from this project, and 2 is oh, looks like she's going back to sleep. 2 is I put a pool up, and I did. See, there was a pool there. We used it once. It was just becoming annoying, so I took it down, trying to grow the grass back. And then I did a bunch of stuff to the porch, as you can see. Fenced it in, made that gate, took some stuff to the recycle. Yeah, so I did a little bit of stuff, but nothing like I planned. I was laid off till May 4th, like I said, and I don't know how I didn't get everything done. I know this boat took a lot of time, but maybe I'm just lazy. I could have done more, you know, but it didn't happen. Lastly, one thing I did is there was this gap here from putting this deck on, and I thought it was ugly. I didn't want people to look in there and see my stuff, like batteries and stuff. Hold on, I apologize for this airplane. I live by airport. So I was like, how am I gonna seal up this gap here? So I got to thinking, I was like, what if I just stapled a piece of carpet to the bottom of this deck and then folded it under like that, bam. And I was starting to do that, and I was like, man, that's super lame. Why can't I just pop these out, pop this off, and then tuck it underneath of it, and then you know, put it back. And so I did. I pulled this rubber off, and I took off all the rivets, and I tuck it under as tight as I could, you know, and put new rivets in and put it all back. And it's, I mean, right here is a little different now, but I mean, it works just fine. Oh yeah, also I got some back cleats I need to put on over these broken ones. And then I think I just told you guys I had to connect this panel to the battery because I have it disconnected at all times right now because that caught on fire. Well, instead of having to disconnect and connect all the time, I bought a marine toggle switch, which, yeah, that's what those are also, but it's just a normal toggle switch. I'm gonna put it on the ground, and instead of having to disconnect the battery every single time, I can just hit the switch, and that disconnects the current, so current can't flow through that anymore, so I don't gotta worry about it catching on fire, which is also the same thing as just disconnecting the battery. That way that there's just no current that can create a full cycle. Anyways, guys, I said I was gonna get off here 6 minutes ago. That's what my GoPro is saying. But I just got a lot to tell you guys. Also, one of my uncles, I know I had 4 landlords last time I was talking to you guys, but one of them decided, hey, I'm just gonna buy this place. I'm gonna buy out my brothers. So they did. Guess what he wants to do? He wants to live in his house. So we'll be moving. He wants to start moving in the first of the year. So that gives me 6 months or 5.5 months or whatever. But it just sucks, man. Like, I want to settle down for a little while and finish my projects I got going on, and then really put a serious effort into trying to get my own home. And it's just hard because I need a place to, you know, post up for a little while, I guess you could say, to stay stationary for a little bit and get my life together. Which, yeah, I could just do that now, but I had other plans, you know. I had things, I had goals and projects I wanted to do, and then I wanted to move on to bigger pictures, like, you know, a home, stuff for my daughter, stuff like that. But I just wanted to button up all my odd ends first, like completely finish this boat build, which is taking forever. That's one thing. I want to finish my truck build, which I'm about to make a video about on that right after this video. So 2 uploads for you guys. And you know, I want to get all the debts paid down and get some medical stuff taken care of and just have all that stuff done and paid for, and new vlog camera, new computer for it, new editing software, so I can really get serious about these vlogs that I keep talking about. And you know, I want to get all that stuff done and paid for, and then like start thinking about a home. But you know, life throws curveballs, and it really just shows that you're not in charge, you know. So it is what it is. I just gotta make the best of it. So, like, as I can think of right now, I have a rod arsenal, which I need to make a video. I'm like halfway there. I think I have a list of 21 or 22 setups, and right now I think I have 11. Some people say overkill. Some people think not enough. The people who get it, get it. The people who don't, never will, so I ain't gonna try. But that video is coming. The reason I'm even talking about that is because I'm probably going to put the rod arsenals on hold until after I get a home. So I think I can work with 11 fishing rods for the time being. I should be able to get away just fine. Yeah, so I think that's all that's on my mind fishing wise. Oh wait, lastly, this boat was built for this forum called Electric Bassin on Facebook, a little local bass fishing organization who only run the electric motors. And I was like, already gonna build this boat beforehand, you know, like I already had it planned, I already had the boat, I already had plans and ideas. And this guy named Bob, he started this electric bassin group, and I was like, shoot, that's perfect, I'll join, you know. We're gonna do tournaments and 1v1 stuff and just go out and fun fish, and just a group of guys that like to bass fish in the area that don't tell everyone where they're catching fish and keep the honey holes a secret and stuff, you know. But no one is committed to that. I mean, including myself. Yeah, I built this boat and stuff, but they've been having events and I haven't been going. Granted, I have a kid and a wife and a job, and I can't always just drop everything and go fishing. And they understand that. But there's a lot of other guys in this group that don't have anything. They're single. Might even live with mom and dad, whatever, you know. But they don't go, and so Bob's like, screw it, I'm done. So that forum's over. And before I even got to take my boat to a meeting, to a group, or to an event, anything is done. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Just filling you in on my fishing life, you know, that's what this channel's all about. Okay, so all my rods are all buttoned up. I'm gonna end that note here. I'm gonna end on that note here. I'll try to make a video out on the water of my boat so that you guys can get a feel for what it's kind of like on the water. I just had this compartment open, not a drip of water in there. So it's only that side that's leaking. I need to figure that out. That's probably next on my agenda, along with wires, a couple odd end things, buttoning up my batteries, getting the outboard running. I think that's all I told you. Got that toggle switch, so I'm going to worry about, you know, that falls into wires. So I'm going to worry about fires and all that. Yeah, so on that note, guys, I hope you guys stayed to the end of this. I know this is another long rambler. That's all my channel's been so far. But if you actually watched it to the end, thank you. I appreciate you. You were awesome. Until next time, guys, I'll catch you in my truck video. Peace out.